have selected 4 different stones representing 4 different piles for your selection. And just take a minute right now to take 3 deep mindful breaths. Ask yourself, what is going on in my love life right now? What's going on in my romantic life right now, even as a single person? So as you can see, I have already pre-selected 4 piles for you guys to choose from. Go on ahead and take 3 deep mindful breaths and ask yourself what you need to know right now. Pile number 1 is represented by the red jasper. Pile number 2 is represented by the lepidolite. Pile number 4 is represented by pyrite. Pile number 3 is represented by pyrite. And pile number 4 is represented by azurite. So we have pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. Take 3 deep breaths and ask yourself, what do I need to know in my love life right now? So hopefully by now you've already selected your piles, and we can go right on ahead and move into pile number 1, which is the red jasper. And for the rest of you guys, I will see you at the click of your timestamp. Thank you. All right, so if you chose pile number 1, that is represented by the red jasper, which is really good for grounding, balance, and not just metaphysical balance, but actual physical balance. And it's just a stone that can help you in your everyday physical life as well as your spiritual journey. So it connects to the base chakra, the root chakra, which is your security center. So let's go on ahead and get into pile number 1. Like I said, I'm doing a full Celtic cross for all of these piles. And let's just get your cards out and see what it's looking like. All right, so now that we have all of the cards shuffled out for group number 1, let's get into the reading and see what's going on. Remember, this Celtic cross spread is all about what's going on in your love life right now, in your romantic life right now. So first of all, what I'm seeing, what your current situation is that you are not finding romance, or you're not finding connection in the way that you want, because you have a lot of self-work to do, and you're looking out at your self-work as if there's just so much and too much on the table. It's overwhelming you. You're not really ready to attack your issues with yourself head on. And I feel that if you chose this group, you're seeking relationships and you're seeking connections to kind of fill those holes within yourself that you are that you're vacant in, that your energy is vacant in. You're looking for somebody else to kind of fill up those areas where you feel like you want weight, but you are lacking the ability to get it. It's kind of giving a little bit of codependency, but not so much a codependency in the traditional sense, because I feel like very much if you chose this group at this point, you're kind of willing to just entertain anybody, and you're easily able to move on from one person to the next if the first person wasn't satisfying you. That's really what's coming through strongly with your situation. Your challenge affecting the issue, which is also where you can find some potential. This is a potential and challenge placement. Page of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles and the 7 of Swords. I pulled this combination for someone. On my story recently. So if that person is watching this, damn girl. Anyway, the Page of Pentacles with the 7 of Swords, it really gives me the energy of okay, Pentacles, when we're looking at these court cards with the Pentacles, especially like the Page and the Knight, it's like there's work to do, right? There's bounty there, there's value in the seeds that you're planting, but there is a lot of work to do. And with the Page of Pentacles, it's kind of like giving you have the energy to be a leader of a group, right? In the traditional sense. I'm working backwards here, so just stay with me here. You have the ability to be a leader within the group. You're kind of the goose that laid the golden egg in a sense, and you're trying to kind of like lead people, in this case, probably yourself to a certain point. You're trying to lead yourself to, I guess what I would say is like that pinnacle being, you know, that pinnacle you have, like that being the seed that you're planting to grow into your higher self and to grow into a better version of yourself, to overcome all of these different tasks and self-work and self-worth issues that you have right now. This is the seed that's gonna grow to kind of fix all of that in a sense. But with the Seven of Swords, it's giving all of the information is not there. All of the information is hidden. Maybe you're hiding from the information yourself, like maybe you're actively choosing to not confront your shadow. But this also could be, while you're on this journey, you don't have to share every bit of it with everyone. And that especially goes for everyone that you're deciding to hook up with and be with during this time, because you're really not even seeking healthy connection. And so you don't necessarily want to be in a place where you're vulnerable with people that you don't know if you can trust, that the connection is not healthy, that you guys are just entertaining each other or occupying each other's space. A lot of what you guys need to do is like have some sense of agency in your healing. I feel like you guys are unloading your healing onto other people. You think other people are gonna fix you. You think getting with certain types of people is gonna motivate you and elevate you, when you really need to be motivating and elevating yourself. The basis of the situation, or the focus as I'd like to call it, this is actually a great card for this position. This card is telling me you need to focus on the inner details. You need to do some shadow work. You need to focus on the inner details of your life. The inner work is what needs to be done. And you need to be laser focused when you're doing it. The Eight of Pentacles talks about paying attention to details, talks about being focused, talks about locking in. And it's really like a craftsman. When you really get to looking at the card, this is a craftsman in the zone, a craftsman hard at work. And so you're crafting yourself, okay? Think about it as you're carving the mold of yourself. Not carving the mold, you're shaping the mold of yourself, of who you're gonna be, you know, who you're gonna be after all this work is done. And you need to be focused on that work. You need to be paying attention to the inner details, to the minor details, to the larger details, all of the details, okay? In the recent past, you've come across a symbol of strength. I feel like this is why you have it in your head that somebody else is gonna help you, because you've seen a symbol of strength that kind of that showed that to you. Maybe that's what you were showed as a symbol of strength in your past. A lot of codependency, a lot of people elevating other people or people motivating other people. I don't know if you've recently like seen somebody get saved, so to speak, like not like saved as in not saved their life or like saved by Jesus, but like if you have seen someone meet somebody, for example, and they have all of a sudden their money problems are solved, or some other issue with them is becoming solved through someone else, you need to disassociate from that. You need to detach yourself from that. That's not your story. That's not your story. I don't want to say you're not going to be taken care of, because I feel like that's not the case, but right now that's not your story. You have to find some agency in yourself, because your strength, and even for some of you guys, some of this has come up for you in the recent past. You've had to kind of realize like nobody's going to save you, and you had to use your own strength to get yourself out of a situation. What this is telling me is that you guys need to know your strength, your own personal strength is the only thing that's going to be infinite. It's the only thing that's going to be providing you stability, infinite stability. You see that infinity sign? This is the only thing that's going to provide you infinite stability, is you finding the strength within yourself to take care of the things you need to take care of. Because you can never depend on someone else. You can have reliable people in your life, but you can never depend on someone else to get work done or do something for you. Now, let's see, number 5. Number 5 is your actual strengths, and your actual strength right now is in a little passivity. It's in kind of playing the background, playing the back seat. I feel like if you are involved with somebody on a romantic level, situationship wise, or just dating or whatever the case may be, you need to play the background. You need to let them take the lead, because in their leadership, you're going to start to identify exactly why this won't work. Okay, exactly why your patterns, the people that you're in contact with romantically time and time again, you're going to start to see the traits in this person that also exist in all those other people that you've been with and been around. You're going to start to see patterns revealed to you when you just play the back seat, when you let that person come to you, when you let them make plans, when you let them, hit you up first. Okay? And that's not to say play games, but sit back and observe, because you're going through a cycle, you're going through a pattern. You attract the same type of people, and you're attracted to the same type of people all the time. And I feel like you might think that that's what you want, but the reality of it is you're not compatible with them. You're not compatible with them. And part of it can be because they're self-motivated and you're waiting for them to motivate you. You're waiting for somebody to save you, whereas those people, they're go-getters and they're thinking about themselves. You know what I'm saying? Sit back and observe. The near future, why does this keep doing this? Okay, in the near future, you guys are definitely taking that back seat, taking that rest. This isn't a direct result of that. In the near future, because when you start to let people come to you and you're not always the one, having to be the first one to say so, or the first one to make plans, or the first one to activate and control the situation, you're going to get rest as a direct result. That's because you're going to realize these people are not hitting you up. These people are not making an effort to have you in their life and to be in your life. The value that you put on them, they have not put on you. You're going to start to realize all of that, and it's going to cause you to go into this place of reflection, this place of rest, this place of solitude. I feel like you're going to be starting to understand what other things you need to be looking for in people so that you have the connection you want, a sustainable connection, so that you have even like the friendships, even you're gonna start to realize, I want to be around these kinds of people. I want to be around people like this or like that. I don't want to be around people. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, your type, so to speak, is somebody that very much does chase the dollar, might be a slave to the dollar, might very much put money at the head of their lives. Getting money and making money and providing might be at the head of their lives. But however, you're not the person they're providing for. You're not the priority. Somebody else, it might be themselves, it might be their family, it might be anything else, but you're not their priority. And that's often the case with you. You're a convenience. And that's not who you are. That's who you've become to that person. You know what I mean? Represent your power in the situation. The moon, your intuition represents your power in the situation. So from this, it just tells me you already know what's going on. You're going to sit back and become a little passive in the situation so that you have the physical evidence of what you already know to be true. And a little bit of that power is in kind of like letting your intuition be your guidance in a way. Like even though you already know it, you need to see it to believe it. But in the moonlight, you can't see everything, right? You can see almost everything in the sunlight if it's not too bright. But in the moonlight, it's dark. You have to be trusting. You have to have faith. And also that's going to be your power in the situation too. You not losing faith that your connection is out there, that your connection is possible, but it's waiting for you on the other side of this. It's waiting for you on the other side of this work. the people around you, the Hierophant in reverse. Okay, so even still, like I said, like with the friendships and stuff, the thing is, the people around you are not going to be giving you advice. They're not going to be giving you suggestions and advice and anything really of that nature on the topic and on the situation, because there's a few things going on. Partially, they're tired of hearing it. They're tired of this cycle. They're tired of this pattern. But also, because this is something you need to figure out for yourself. And as a direct result of that, you're going to start to see people withdrawing from it. Even your friends that you just talk to platonically, that you just vent to or whatever, like, and that's how you know you need to be getting work done. When you have exhausted your community, when you exhausted your network and they no longer want to like provide you advice and support, or they feel like they've ran out of things to say on the matter, that's when you know you need to be doing the work. Okay? Your hopes and fears with the Knight of Pentacles, it's like, you know, this is back to this. Because these two are partners in crime. It's almost like you know you have an opportunity for great growth and greatness, but you're afraid of what it might entail. You're afraid of the possible tower moments. You're afraid of confronting like the darkness in yourself and the self-sabotage. And almost in a way, you're afraid of success in this venture. You're afraid of success in the realm of romance because you don't know if you can sustain it. You don't know if you know how to be vulnerable and intimate in the ways that are possible. And so you might cause yourself some issues trying to stay where you are, trying to cling to what's old. You know what I mean? You might cause yourself some issues. It's really time for you guys to confront your shadow and to confront that darkness, to confront those self-sabotaging behaviors, those codependencies. How can they confront this, Spirit? How is this to be confronted for them? What is the work that they need to be doing? What's their shadow work? Or how can they activate this shadow work? Okay. So it's pretty cut and dry. It's pretty cut and dry. There's going to be an opportunity for you. There's going to be an offer made to you, and that offer is going to be the make or break moment. Not even make or break. It's going to be the make or make, to be honest, because there's no way that you can break this situation. There's no way that you can avoid getting started on this journey of like you confronting yourself, you figuring, you know, just how to be more practical and realistic in your concept of self and your concept of, you know, connection. There's going to be an opportunity or an offer made to you, and you're going to have to decide whether or not you're going to move forward with it. And for a lot of you guys are going to decide no. And it's going to cause you to have to quickly plan an exit. Okay? It's causing you to quickly plan or quickly readjust or quickly pivot. You know what I'm saying? And that could just be in the way you're living your life. That could be in like physical terms of maybe you having to leave a place or move on from something or get rid of some things, lose some material possessions in a sense, or lose some support in a sense, and quickly come back and pivot and devise a plan. But this is balancing everything. This is making everything, even with the temperance, is balance, 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 and balance, okay? This is balancing everything out. This, even if you guys do move forward with it, it's gonna take planning. It's gonna take kind of like consideration in a way, and so to speak. It's gonna take consideration. A lot of you guys are gonna say no, and it's almost all of you guys. And I feel like even if those of you that say yes to this offer, you're gonna change your mind. You're gonna change your mind, because once you listen, you guys are just, that is what it is. You guys know you guys have work to do. You guys know you're not ready for a relationship, and you're not ready for connection, and you're just not ready. So do yourself a favor and get started on the work. This offer is gonna come. You're gonna have to switch, pivot, replan, redirect yourself. And like I said again, find agency in your self-concept, self-worth healing. Take it upon yourself to do the work that you need to do. So you're being passive with those around you, but you're being active with yourself, proactive with yourself. The Chariot is here to say you're going to be getting a lot of momentum on this healing when this time comes. It's going to be very quick and very almost swift for you. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but you're going to start to cycle through changes very, very quickly. Your life is going to be changing very, very quickly, okay? And it's almost going to be like, okay, here I am now. Boom, this is what's going on. Oh, that's over. Now here's a new thing. Boom, this is what's going on. And in this time, you're really going to be learning the concept of flexibility, okay? There might be something behind flexibility in your future, like your partner might require, the person who you really end up with might require a level of flexibility for many different reasons. But that's what you're kind of going to be building up. And that's what I'm seeing here with the Chariot, especially because in this Chariot, she's on that motorcycle, and it's like, I'm just picturing like, you know, in LA here, like the motorcycles, they kind of cut through all of the traffic. They kind of cut through all of that, and you know, they'll be driving in between lanes and whatever, and that's what I'm seeing here with this Chariot. A lot of swift, and it's not easy. It takes a lot of attention. It takes 100% focus, and you have to be completely alert and aware of your surroundings. Heal your heart, where Rainbow is sitting. Yeah, there's a lot of healing that needs to go down here. You guys are not ready for a relationship and a connection. You're really ready to find wholeness and harmony within yourselves, and that's beautiful. Create your own luck. Stop waiting for someone to save you. Create your own luck, group number one. I believe in you. You have to believe in you too. Let's get an affirmation out here for group number one. Spirit, what can we tell group number one? What is their affirmation? How can we send them off? I am capable. Group number one, your affirmation says, I am capable. Obstacles are only as large as I believe them to be. I can achieve anything I desire with comfort and ease. I have all of the necessary tools to reach my goals. When I lead with positivity and love, helpful people show up to aid my endeavors. I am capable. Okay? Obstacles are only as large as I believe them to be. I can achieve anything with desire, comfort, and ease. I have all of the necessary tools to reach my goals. When I lead with positivity and love, helpful people show up to aid my endeavors. I am capable. That was very on point with you guys' reading. Group number one, I'm here for you guys during this journey. I know it's not easy. I know a lot of you guys probably didn't even want to hear this go down like this, but it is what it is. This is the group you chose. And if it resonates with you, it's time to just face it and get to work. Okay? Thank you so much for joining me on this here pick a card reading. And I cannot wait to see you guys on the next video. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, message me, tell me how you feel about the video. I'm always responding back and checking out what you guys have to say. And just remember, until I see you guys again, gratitude is the main attitude, okay? All right, group number 2. If you chose group number 2 with the lepidolite, this is your part of the singles pick a card reading. And as promised, we are going to be pulling a full Celtic cross spread on your love life situation, okay? So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's see what the story holds for group number 2. All right. Listen, group number 2, it's not surprising to me that you guys have landed yourself here. Lepidolite is a good stone for quieting the mental space, quieting down the activity, and really quieting the noise in your mind, if you will. And when I started shuffling for you guys, I immediately heard, after I pulled this second card, Fools Rush In, okay? And something tells me if you've chosen this group, you are finding yourself single in this time, but you are not one to stay single long. I get the feeling that people in this group love to be in a relationship, love to be having something or someone to call yours. Even if it's short term, even if it doesn't mean much. And I feel like breakups don't really affect you much. I feel like you are a person that moves on pretty quickly. But overall, I'm seeing with your present situation, it's kind of like you have a tendency to make decisions without knowing the full information. You have a tendency to get involved with people without knowing who they really are. Because the blindfold, that's what the blindfold is telling me. It's telling me there's a lack of vision. You can't see everything. Now, I see with the blocked off heart space situation right here and the battle swords ready to go, you do protect yourself in these situations. I mean, you like to be cuffed, so to speak, but you're not really wearing your heart on your sleeve in these romantic situations. But in any event, you're rushing in. You're rushing into meaningless connections, so to speak. And that's the challenge for you, is that you charge in, you rush in, and I feel like because you have so much to give, it's not a big deal to you. But I don't know. Let's see what the cards say. The basis of the situation. Okay, the basis of the situation is that you're a person that can move on pretty quickly. Like I said, with the World card here, that's what I'm seeing, is that you understand relationships. You understand relationships in a way that many other people don't. You understand that with loving comes letting go, and that's why you have no problem. Breakups don't really affect you all that much, is because you're always knowing and prepared that whether or not you're cuffed in the moment, that doesn't mean that that person belongs to you, and that doesn't mean that things can't change, and that you don't necessarily take things personal when people move on or when relationships dissolve or what have you. You know it's not personal. You know it's just a cycle of life, and that's your magic and that's your power, and that's why you can manifest connection so quickly, because you don't hold on and you don't suffocate things and people. You let things and people grow and go on their journey, because you understand the journey. You understand that even in yourself, you understand that you're going to change. Your needs and wants are going to change. Your desires are going to change. And I feel like you're a very just dynamic person. Like, you can't be pinned down, so to speak. You just enjoy loving and making connections with different people is really what's going on with group number 2. The past relevance to the situation. So I feel like, oh, okay, maybe in a past life, or maybe just in your youth or in your, earlier years prior to watching this video, you are a person who has always been one to give a lot and receive a lot. Like, reciprocity hasn't been an issue for you. Because you have so much, you have more to give than others, and you're generous with it. You're generous of spirit. Even if it's not like monetary things, like your attention and your love and all of that. You have so much of it in you that you give it freely. And it's beautiful. It causes you a lot of abundance because it's like, it's the infinity of it all. You know what I'm saying? It's like what goes around comes around. It's the equal and opposite reactive nature of life, and you really understand that. You really understand from abundance comes abundance. And so I feel like a part of your journey in this lifetime is to really be a catalyst for people, like to uplift and to motivate and to inspire and to kind of like bring love into the lives of other people, because that's what keeps your abundance going, and that's what causes you abundance. And as long as you're operating in that area of your life, you can always expect abundance. When you're being selfish, you probably cannot expect abundance, but just know you have so much within you. You have so much love in you. It's like, it's infinite. It's infinite. You have so much to give. Even if you gave away all of the love you have today, like tomorrow you would be completely full again. That's really beautiful, group number 2. A lot of people would wish to be like that. This is your strengths. The Hierophant. And the Hierophant is kind of like the director, kind of like the teacher, kind of like the leader. You know what I'm saying? The Hierophant is saying, you go down this path, you go down this path, because these are the paths that you're going to find what's good for you. And if you're kind of like, that's who you are. That's who you are in real life. And like, you're bringing so much balance to the people that you interact with, to the people that you get into these relationships with. You're bringing so much balance and so much understanding. And I feel like for some of you guys, it's like you might be longing for someone that can really match your energy, and that's totally fine. And I feel like you can find that in this lifetime, but just know the reason why you are cycling in and out of relationships and all of that stuff is because that is part of your journey. Because your level of understanding, nobody else can do what you do. Nobody else can bring what you bring to the table. And so for some of you guys, you're also feeling undervalued because you feel like, oh, I give so much of myself away, and like people really can't just match my energy, and people just use me for the time that I'm around and then ditch me or break up with me or whatever the case may be. Even if you're the one doing the breakups because you're bored, so to speak, it's like people just cannot match your energy. People just can't give you reciprocity in a sense. And it hurts because you're giving so much of yourself away. But just know this is definitely part of your journey in this lifetime, is being a beacon of light, being kind of like a healer, so to speak. And it's like you're healing people back because you're coming into their lives and you're just showing them like, look how abundant you can be in love. Look how abundant I am, and I have so much love, and I'm not selfish with my love, and I'm not stingy with my love, and even my resources I'm not stingy with. My money, my resources, my friends, you know, my connections, I'm not stingy with, and I'm abundant, and I'm always abundant. That's what you're showing people. Yeah, look. In your near future, that's what you're gonna see more of too. And I feel like in your near future, because you have this understanding of like who you are and your purpose now, even coming out of this reading, in the near future, you'll be able to have more reciprocal relationships. You know what I'm saying? Even if they are, that's like short-lived or transactional or whatever, you'll be able to have more reciprocity in your relationships. That's what the Two of Cups is representing. It's like a transactional relationship in a sense where, yes, the emotions are there, and yes, the love is there, and all of that, but there is an understanding of what you're getting from each other. You're gonna find someone soon that matches your flow, that matches your state of mind, that matches your energy. Oh wow, the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Cups. Yeah, see, you're gonna find someone, and even if they're not an exact match for your energy, you're finding someone who appreciates it. Look at this, the Knight of Cups, he's a little, what's it called? He's a little, not naive, but he's a little inexperienced in a sense. You know, he's a little inexperienced in the realm of emotions, okay? In the realm of feelings, okay? And the non-physical. He's a little inexperienced in that area, but he's coming to meet the Queen of Cups. And he says, okay, I actually have a cup for you, Queen of Cups. I know this is your thing. I know nurturing is your thing. I know feelings is your thing. I know you're a maternal person, and I'm coming to match you as best I can. You know what I'm saying? Obviously her cup is more experienced and her cup is a little bit more, you know, grandiose than his cup is, but he's coming with something. You know, it's like he's no longer coming up empty-handed, and it's like there's an exchange going on. Good for you guys. You're building something. This is the effects on people around you, and you're really building something. What I'm seeing here is like structure and family. You know what I'm saying? This is a representation of people coming together and building something. And I feel like it's very much these two energies. And this is your energy, and this is the person that's coming to you. Somebody that's willing to build and build with you. You know, even though you probably have a little bit of a nest egg already. Somebody who's looking to really build with you and who has the same spirit and energy that you do. Even if they're a little more naive in it. And I feel like you are going to have to teach them some things in terms of emotions and how to deal with emotions and just selfishness and compassion and all of those different things. But they're going to have it within them, and they're going to be receptive, and they're going to be willing to learn. They just need guidance. But I don't feel like this is going to be the same as before. I don't feel like this is going to be the same as you guys being used, so to speak. And I don't even think it's like being used like an intentional people are using you, but like just people coming to realize what's in themselves through you, and then kind of like not explaining that well enough, not explaining why they want to break it off well enough, or not explaining, you know, why they're intimidated or why they feel inferior or whatever, and kind of like leaving you in the dirt. There's a change coming though. There's a change coming. With your hopes and fears, you have the visionary card, the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands in this placement is really giving like a switch and pivot. Like your life, the way you think about things is going to change. And because of the way you think about things is going to change, the way you act on things is going to change. You're not coming in with this Knight of Swords energy of rush, rush, go, go, go. You're coming in with this energy of like seeing the plan unfold, of having the vision and then considering the vision, and like really having a more solid, grounded approach. You know what I'm saying? And I say that because the Wands doesn't usually represent grounding. It represents like passion and fire and all of that. But because the world is in his hand, it's giving the sense of like you're going to be way more grounded in your passions. And you're having a better understanding of your reactivity to emotions, to connection, you know, to relationships. And that's you're gonna be so much more empowered in your relationships, because you're gonna be able to really think and consider and say, you're gonna really start to understand the difference between connection and compatibility, really is what it is. And not feel like you have to rush and jump and act on every connection and every passionate moment, because there might not be compatibility there. It might just be that. It might just be connection. You know what I'm saying? In your potential outcome, you have the Ace of Cups and the Six of Swords. And I feel like ultimately, what's going to happen to you guys during this journey, throughout this journey, or whatever, through finding this person here, is like you're going to find comfort in solitude in a way. This is representing you moving on to calmer waters. And what's going on is like, I even see this as like, kind of like, yeah, someone's helping you get to the calmer water, of course, but it's like you had to choose for yourself. Like you had to say, oh, I'm getting up and today's the day that I'm gonna go. Today's the day that I'm gonna stop this BS. Today's the day that I'm not gonna accept anymore of myself being used, and fill up my own cup before I fill up anyone else's. And you're gonna have this pattern and this start to like feel like you can really just fill up your own cup, because you're okay with being alone, and you don't feel like just because you're great in connection doesn't mean you have to always be in connection. Ultimately, you're going to have more energy from it too. You're going to have a lot more energy from filling up your own cup, because it's more sustainable. Spirit, what else is there for group number 2? How can they begin to have just that sense of agency and have that, you know, be comfortable with the solitude and the not acting so quickly. Something about boundaries. Maybe you setting boundaries, because the Eight of Swords is coming up and it's not giving like limitations in a way where you're limited or you're putting limitations on yourself. But boundaries. Oh, boundaries around your generosity, I feel. Yeah. Boundaries around your generosity. That's what I'm getting here with this Eight of Swords, Six of Pentacles story. You having boundaries around your generosity is going to provide you with the information you need for discernment. So you can be this person. Oh my God, this Queen of Cups is back in the back of the deck. So you can be the Queen of Cups. And you can be your sweet, loving, nurturing, gentle self without feeling like I'm being taken advantage of, or, you know, I'm going to get hurt again, or whatever the case may be. This is a very good reading. It's very quick. It's very cut and dry too. Oh my God. Rhodochrosite. Remember your worth. Yeah, because you're such a valuable, with all this love and abundance, you're a valuable person. You have to remember your worth so that you can practice discernment. And everybody that has an offer for you is not necessarily like, some people might have an offer for you. And even like to the point of this, it's like, some people can match your spirit and your energy, and I do feel like you're going to find that. But I also want to point out that there's duality in the meaning to this, because the Knight of Cups is not on the level of the Queen of Cups yet. Some people are not going to be on your level. Okay? And so you have to remember your worth around those people. Some people have the ability and the potential to get to your level, although it's not your responsibility to bring them there. But when you meet with somebody with the same spirit as you, you'll know like they might not have everything yet, but they are on my level, versus they're not on my level. They might want to feel like they have this, but this is just not the wavelength that they're on. They're not on the wavelength I'm on, and that's on period. Okay, you're operating in a heart chakra space. They might be operating in a root chakra space. That's just their life story. That's just their life path. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing lower about it, so to speak, but it is what it is. And then make a decision with the lapis lazuli. Make a decision. So you do ultimately have a decision to make. That comes up with the first card too, the Two of Swords. And maybe that decision that you're making is a decision to be single or to exit a relationship where you're feeling used. But your 11, your affirmation is, I am focused. I'm focused on achieving my goals through deliberate actions. I take time to feel how it would feel to achieve my dreams. I visualize my desires through a lens of love and happiness. I am focused. That is your reading, group number 2 for the singles. Pick a card. I'm very, very happy with you guys and where you are. Even, oh my God, look in the back of the deck. It says, I am a gift. You are a gift because you have so much love and abundance in you. Don't let people use you. Don't let people take advantage of you. You cannot save everyone. Some people are going to leave your presence and they're going to be still selfish. And I feel like you guys might be dealing with an energy vampire right now during this time, because I feel like a lot of you guys have all this love and energy and positivity and connection inside of you, and someone is taking advantage of you guys, and you know it, and you have to make the choice to leave them. But you haven't left them because you don't like being alone. I feel you guys, being lonely is not easy, but it is something you're gonna have to deal with. So group number 2, that was your reading. Thank you so much for joining me, and go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know how you're feeling about this reading. And until the next time I see you, just remember, gratitude is the main attitude. If you chose group number 3, represented by the pyrite, This is your reading for the not 2022, but yeah, February 2022, but for the February Singles Pick a Card Valentine's Day edition. We're gonna go ahead and start shuffling out since there are a lot of cards to be shuffled, okay? We're starting off with a full Celtic cross spread. That is what makes this video special edition. All right, let's see, Spirit. What information do we have? What information do we have for group number 3? All right, so if you chose group number 3, I feel like you guys are in for a lot of love and abundance this Valentine's season. Even though you guys are single, there's still so much kind of like love and value that's being presented to you. So I'm not surprised that you fell on this stone, because this stone does kind of materialize wealth in a way. And you guys even have the sun card in the back of the deck, which is saying like, this is your time. This is your time to shine. This is your time for the sun to be shining upon you, okay? So starting off with your situation is like you are in a situation of a victory. The 6 of Wands represents a victory. So I feel like with this, you guys are gonna probably be like victorious in some romantic or love-based situation, which is really good. I'm very happy for you guys, and I'm very proud of you guys. It seems as though it's like you're ready for a boost, which I would say means that you guys have been doing some inner work, which is really, really valuable. I'm also seeing that you guys have options. Which leads maybe to a third-party situation. So this is your potential and challenges, and I feel like in your potential and challenges is really going to be for you to be seeing everything that's available to you. Okay, for you to be seeing everything that's available to you, and it's going to be causing you to focus on this third-party situation. Maybe I feel like what might happen with you guys is you guys might meet somebody initially, and then you guys might meet somebody else. So this leads to you kind of like I said, seeing all that is available to you. And you're going to have to manage how you deal with that, how you communicate that. Okay? With the 3 of Swords, somebody's going to get hurt. And it's unavoidable, and I don't feel like it's something you guys should harp on or feel bad about, but it is very much you learning how to manage and communicate your feelings when there's 2 different parties involved and the potential for someone to get hurt. That's going to be what a lot of your focus is on. And I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if some of you guys ended up having 2 Valentines. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you guys were trying to actually manage dealing with 2 people on Valentine's Day, on the day of Valentine's Day, dealing with having 2 different dates, or even dealing with turning someone down that doesn't expect to be turned down. Maybe somebody you've been dealing with that you're gonna probably choose somebody new to hang out with or be around this month, and be turning them down, be turning that original person down. And that's not to say you're choosing the new person overall. It's just saying that you're looking at what is available to you. You're looking at your options. In your recent past, you may have come into quite a bit of money, which I feel like in general, even if you didn't come into any money, something has happened to boost your confidence. You've come into some wealth that has boosted your confidence. Maybe it's like an opportunity at work, or a project that you're working on at work that comes with a bonus or something, but there's some wealth that has generated in your recent past that it makes you more confident, and that's what's fueling the way that people are attracted to you, is because you're way more confident and you have that glow and that shine about you, and people just want to know, like, they want to know you, they want to know about you. The 5 of... I feel like with the 5 of Wands in this place of strength, it's saying like your strength is going to be really to be able to compartmentalize and to keep things separate. By keeping things separate, you're avoiding this clash, this conflict of opinions. I feel like even your strength a little bit is because you even have the Six of Wands, which is a victory, which is like sometimes they say it's a small victory, but it's kind of like progression in a sense, but it comes after kind of some vengeance, okay? And I don't want to say vengeance because that's not really the direct meaning, but that's really what I'm getting here. But it's going to be in your ability to compartmentalize, and when you're compartmentalizing, it helps you to just look at things from your point of view only, and not really worry so much about how is such and such going to feel about it, how am I going to come across to these people. It's going to cut out all of that and just allow you to really really focus on what works for you and what doesn't. And ultimately, like I said, somebody's going to get hurt, but that's not something you should feel bad about. People get hurt all the time. I mean, it's a part of life. Again, with the balance, with the, not balance, but again, with the finding out what options are available to you. That's what temperance is all about. Temperance is open to trying new things. You see, temperance is dipping the toe in the water. Temperance is pouring one cup into another cup. You know what I'm saying? Temperance is discovering and finding out all of the things that are available to you by not necessarily feeling the need to commit to one thing right away. Temperance is exploration, okay? And that's in your near future. You're being able to explore. You're being able to explore your options, okay? That's what's coming to you. And ain't it a good thing to have options, baby? Now, in your power in the situation. Your power in the situation is being able to kind of foresee the compatibility ahead of time. Having the information and being able to foresee really ultimately at the end of the day what's going to be beneficial for everyone. Okay, so that means even this person that's going to get their heart broken, even if it's you, okay, just to be real, even if it's you, you can foresee the future in a sense. You can foresee what path, what option is going to be beneficial to each person, and therefore you're able to help kind of move things along in that way. Even if that means fueling somebody's singularity, okay? Even that means you're going to be the catalyst to someone being single or to someone being lonely on Valentine's Day. Ultimately, that's going to work out better for them. And you can foresee that. And that plays a role in you making your choice on who you're going to be hanging out with and who you're going to be spending time with and how you're going to be spending time with, really. And also, I feel like a little bit with temperance too, it's like taking a little from one to give to another. Taking a little from one to give to another. And this can be within you. This can be like within like your communication and how you're communicating with these two different people and things of that nature. But it could also just mean like the attention that you're giving to one versus the other. Ultimately, everybody in this situation is going to win. The World card here coming in your environment is showing like this is going to affect everybody as a win-win situation. Even if it hurts at first for some people, or even if it's difficult for you, it's really a win-win situation at the end of the day. This is a really good reading, and it's taking way shorter than I expected. Okay. 3 of Cups in your hopes and fears. See, this is weird. Are you guys kind of hoping and fearing that you get found out in your two-timing so that you can confront it? Are you guys secretly hoping that? Are you secretly hoping that it's not even two-timing because you're not in a relationship, but you know what I mean? I feel like a little bit of your fear is like your fear of being found out, your fear of being found out in a sense. You're kind of afraid of like having to admit that you're being manipulative, because that's the angle that you're seeing this from. It's not really the angle that it is though. you're choosing yourself. You're doing what works for you. You're not lying to anybody. You know, you don't owe anybody anything. You have to look at it from a different angle, from a more self-serving angle. It's less about you being manipulative to these two different people, and it's more about you figuring out through experience and through exploration what things may work out for you. And I feel like I touched on this a little bit in pile number 2. So if you were drawn to that pile and it didn't resonate with you, it could be just because this was the pile for you. But I want to say the understanding of relationships and of people is crucial. The understanding that people, including yourself, don't act out of malice towards other people, even when other people get hurt. It's not always because somebody's acting out of malice towards you. Sometimes it's just because people have to see and feel and experience things to find out what's best for them. And sometimes in the process of that, yeah, your feelings may be not yours personally, but just saying in general, like sometimes in life, while people are figuring themselves out, your feelings might fall collateral damage to that, but it's not personal. And so once you release that, you can feel more free and more open to do your exploration in full honesty, and to let people know, hey, no, you're not the only one I'm dating though. Like, if that's okay, if they're gonna accept that, they're gonna accept that. And if they're not, they're not. But that is what the reality is gonna be. Ultimately, your potential outcome, it's gonna be a little bit of you kind of pulling back to yourself, finding a little bit more like grounding in yourself. You might even end up not dating anybody, and I feel like not committing to anybody is really what I want to say, because through this exploration and through this kind of like phase of you dating two people and like not really being serious with both of them, and really just using them for exploration, you're gonna figure out that probably neither of them have what you want. Neither of them can offer what you're looking for and what you need and what you want, but also that there is so much more for you to discover about yourself. There's so much more for you to discover about yourself, and before you can really commit to someone, you have to understand what those things are, because otherwise you're just gonna be looking out and seeing the world as like, oh, I have options all the time. And you do have options all the time, but the thing about it is like, what good is having options if they all are not good enough? If they're all not where they need to be, you know what I'm saying? What is the use of choosing between two different things if neither of them can fulfill? Okay? 5 of Swords. Yeah, so basically, yeah, this situation, I feel like I see you guys as having a lot of fun romantically this year. I mean, not this year. Well, yeah, maybe this year. That's what came out. But during this time, you're having a lot of fun romantically, but ultimately, like, it's gonna end up you being back alone and you kind of like having to really figure it out, and maybe being in an uncomfortable space being alone, because you have spent all this time exploring your options and having so many options and all of that good stuff. But it's necessary. It's necessary for you to, like I said, figure out what you really want and understand the different aspects of your own self. That's what the High Priestess is coming through and saying. Like, there's more knowledge available. There's more knowledge to be learned. Even like the High Priestess representing like you bridging the gap between your spiritual and your physical world. You know, you kind of like figuring out how to manifest what you want, because the connection between your spiritual and physical world is so apparent. It's like it shows in your material possessions, it shows in your mood, it shows in your energy, and you're really trying to I feel like you're trying to find a way to kind of regulate that in a way, because you don't want to be so exposed emotionally. And also kind of learning the balance of give and take, learning the relationship of give and take, and being on both sides of them, and being on both sides of them at the same time, sometimes with different people. You know what I mean? There might be a little bit of a weird energy between you and these two other people that you're dealing with, that you're dating, because it's like you're giving to one, but you're taking from another. And it's like you're trying to learn how to be both of those people. You're trying to learn how to like play both of those roles. But there's a self-discovery journey ahead of you. And it's coming to a head with these two relationships, these two situationships, these two, you know, dating situations. Look, heal your heart almost came out with this. Spirit, what's the energy and what's the information? There we go. Overcome your fears. Support is all around you. With the overcoming your fears, you know, I automatically went to this card. Because like I said, you have this fear of like being exposed. And being exposed for really ultimately just doing what's a natural human activity. You need to be okay with the fact that you're human, okay? You're gonna need time and experience to show you what you want. And the only way to get that time and experience in relationships is to date, is to experience love and heartbreak and cause heartbreak. I'm sorry to say. I am ambitious. I put my goals and ideas into action. I take a leap of faith and I believe in myself. When I put my heart's desires into action, it is for the good of all of those involved. I am ambitious. For some reason, you needed to hear that. For some reason, you needed to hear that you're ambitious. Because maybe you don't believe that. Maybe there's something. It's this fear. It's that fear of healing. Be ambitious in your healing. Be ambitious in your healing. Really, that's what it is. If your goal and your ideas involve you confronting, being alone, figuring out what you need and stuff, you need to be ambitious with that. You need to be, open yourself up. Don't be afraid of getting heartbroken. Don't be afraid of being lonely. Don't be afraid of not having somebody around you, not having a date. Because ultimately, like, all those fears are things you need to overcome. And all those fears are linked to your kind of like a gap in your ambition. Because it's not a lack. We know that it's there. You know what I'm saying? That affirmation came out from you guys because ambition is within you. It's just, you need to uncover that. You need to overcome your fears to uncover that. And you are supported in that. The support really is in supporting you with being okay with being human. Supporting you being okay with being human. Being a human being with a shadow side, with needs that might not always fulfill everyone else's needs. Period. Okay? That's you guys' reading group number 3. Thank you so much for joining me on this singles pick a card reading, Valentine's Day edition. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video. Until then, go ahead and like, comment, follow, share, and subscribe. And just remember, gratitude is the main attitude. All right, group number 4. If you've chosen the azurite, this beautiful blue raw azurite crystal, this is your singles, February singles pick a card reading for the Valentine's Day edition. As promised, you guys are getting a full Celtic cross spread this go around. So let's go on ahead and shuffle out your cards and see what messages Spirit has for you. Okay, let me take that out. You guys, these are my babies. This group, I'm gonna treat y'all right, because I can see that you guys come to this video with a heavy heart. You're not expecting to hear anything positive around your love life. And I feel like you guys are just nervous, and longing is the word that comes to mind. Listen, this is the first and only group that I've talked during the shuffle. Everybody else got a silent shuffle that ultimately will be edited out. Okay. Ooh, ooh. Let's take both of these, why don't we? Put this over here so it's not in the way. And let's see what we have, what we're working with. The star in the back of the deck. The information. Now, let's get into it. Group number 3, this is your reading. I feel like preliminary notes are that, number 1, you guys have such a longing in your heart for romance and for love and for connection, and I feel for you. I feel like you guys really need to let go of the idea that you're gonna be forever alone. Let go of that idea. There is solitude necessary in your life, but that doesn't mean you're gonna be forever alone. What's gonna cause your forever loneliness is avoidance, okay, of addressing what needs to be addressed before the relationships can come in and be healthy and be successful, okay? We have the Moon card here, which is saying your current situation is one where you need to be having faith. You need to be having faith in the fact that you are meant for a connection in this lifetime, and you are lovable, and there is somebody out there that's going to see all of you and all of your worth and allow you to really be yourself around them, allow you to reach a state of vulnerability around them. It's possible. It's out there for you. You just need to, what do you need to do? The challenge. Oh, your self-worth. You're looking for a relationship to complete your sense of self-worth, because in your mind, if you're lovable, that means you're worthy. That means you're worthy, but you need to cultivate a sense of self-worth outside of that. It's like you have put your dreams, you have put your desire to be loved on a pedestal. And when you put something on a pedestal, what does it mean to put something on a pedestal? You're already looking up at it by putting it on a pedestal. When you're looking up at something, it means that you're below that. And it's like, it's not, you're not telling yourself, I'm worthy to be loved. You're telling yourself, if I'm worthy, someone will love me. And that's backwards, okay? This is why I need to make my video about the power of words ASAP, because the things that you're telling yourself are counterproductive. It's not, if I'm worthy, somebody will love me. It's, I'm worthy to be loved. That's the blockage. That's why you guys are not finding the love that you want. And that's why you guys are longing for it so much. It's because you think that it's something that, you think it's an if for you. You don't think it's an and. You don't think it's an automatic. You don't have a sense of self-worth. Your self-worth is low, and people can see that about you. People can see that you don't have a sense of self-worth. And so if you don't value yourself, why would someone else value you? I hope this is recording. It is. If you don't value yourself, why would someone else value you? Okay? That's what's going on here for you guys. Oh, my babies. I want to take care of you guys. The basis of the situation, what you need to focus on. We have this 8 of Cups situation here. What you need to focus on is like leaving behind these old ideas and these old concepts of yourself. You need to leave them behind, and you need to kind of like move into the future with a sense of not really knowing who you are. And it's like, because everything that you have been doing with your life thus far, it's not really you. And I'm not like, let me take that back. A lot of the things you've been doing with your life thus far are not really you. They're things that have been influenced, that you're influenced to do and to take on but they're not really you. And you need to leave this stuff behind. You need to leave all this other stuff behind, because it's like you're operating not from a place of desire and passion. You're just operating from a place of like wanting connection. And so you're attaching yourself to the things that other people are around you are interested in, so you can form connection with them, because that's what you're longing for so bad. But it's not what you like, it's not what you enjoy. And because of that, you're not performing well, because you're not motivated, you're not happy. When you don't perform well, that actually is so counterproductive to your sense of self-worth. When you're getting, say for example, there was a score to everything you were doing in life, and if you're constantly getting 1s and 2s over 8s and 10s, you're gonna feel like, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough. And it's not that you're not good enough, okay? If you judge a fish by his ability to climb a tree, he will spend his whole life thinking he's stupid, okay? That's what you guys are doing. You guys are fish, and you're judging yourselves by your ability to climb a tree, and you can't climb the tree. It's not in your lane, it's not in your purview. Now, and you feel like you've been patient, like this is your recent past, and you feel like you've just been sitting there waiting and patient, and this longing comes back up in the in the 7 of Pentacles. Look at how he's looking at his bush. He's looking like, damn, are you gonna bloom? When will you bloom? Am I not doing something right? Like, oh, he's looking like, oh, he's fed up. He's like longing. He's longing for his tree to bloom. The 7 of Pentacles is like looking out at like this, not even looking out. It's kind of like looking at something as daunting. It's like, oh, I've done all this work and I still have no fruit. I've done this back-breaking labor. I've been working out here in the field all spring and summer, and I have no fruit for the winter yet. That's really what's going on. And that's what you're looking like. You're looking at your love life and your romantic life as like, you've done all this inner work and you've done all this stuff and you're still not blooming. And it's like, you've not done the work, because the work is in your self-worth. It's not in all that other stuff you were doing. It's not in the amount of money you make. It's not in your identity outside of your relationships. It is in your identity outside of your relationships, but you have a false sense of identity outside your relationships. Like, you have no identity outside your relationship, actually, is how far I'm going to go ahead and take it. Because you have no identity outside of your relationships, everything that you do is because someone else introduced it to you, and that was your way to make a connection with them, simply put. Now, in your strengths, you have the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups generally does speak to an offer made by someone. I feel like someone is going to come to you with something, with an offer that very well may cause you to question everything you're doing right now. It may cause separation from things, from your friends, it might cause those separations that you're not really feeling like you're ready for. But don't be avoiding that. The avoidance is causing you the issues. Like with the Devil card, it's like you avoiding going out on your own and finding something to call your own, and you avoiding having that thing is a problem. I feel like you're still going to be coming up upon this in the near future, because you're not going to want to be learning something new without any friends or without anyone to help you along the way that already knows what they're doing. Or maybe you're not going to be enjoying your mentorship. You're going to not feel like, well, this person isn't my friend, or this person isn't somebody I'm comfortable with. So like you're going to be like feeling, again, feelings of inferiority too during the learning curve. Your self-worth is at stake. You guys need to fix that. I love you guys to death, but I'm just going to be straight up with you guys. Your self-worth is at stake. I'm going to pull another card on this Devil because I want to know more. I feel like in the future, in the near future, even with this Knight of Cups situation, this offer that's being made to you, it might not even be a person. It might just be like a new energy coming into your life, something that you've stumbled upon on your own, but it's going to be kind of like an offering from the gods to say like, here's something for you. You know what I'm saying? Here's something you can put your energy and emotions into. But it causes a little bit of a separation. Like, you're going to be struggling with finding a connection in that thing. You're going to be struggling with finding a connection in that thing. I feel like that's where the Page of Cups is coming in. The Page of Cups speaks to like a surprise connection. Like, this fish is jumping up out of the cup and saying like, oh, hey, you didn't know I was in here, right? But I feel like because you're having so many identity issues in the midst of all of it, you're going to be feeling like left out in the cold. You're going to be feeling like you don't know how to properly behave and communicate from a comfortable place in this situation because you are insecure. That's what's coming up in your near future. And it's best you be aware of it, because if you're aware of it, you can step back and think and consider things before you react and before you put your foot in your mouth in different situations. Just be aware of it. This being aware of it is huge for you, okay? And I feel like give yourself the opportunity to come back around these people that you call your friends and share your new experiences. I feel like this is where you're gonna find out who really loves you and who is a part of your soul tribe, because they're gonna kind of help you navigate through this mess. They're gonna help you navigate through this part of your life where you don't feel like yourself. There are people that are gonna hold you down through this time. That's your soul tribe. Those are the people who really, really love you. The people who love you when you're really you, okay? Ultimately, there's peace and harmony. Look at that. The Ten of Cups. It's just giving joy. It's giving emotional fulfillment. Your power in the situation. Oh, this represents your power in the situation. Coming out of this, you're gonna find everything you're looking for. And I'm not saying you're gonna be in a relationship. What I'm saying is that you're gonna have so much joy and connection in your life, and like you're gonna start to just find the proper connections, and like even elevating your friend group in some different ways. You're gonna feel whole within yourself after this journey, okay? After this journey, okay? This Knight of Cups going into this devil situation, you're gonna find that wholeness that you're looking for coming out of that, okay? The environment around you, the Queen of Pentacles, the effects on the environment around you is giving really like nurturing. Like, you're going to be nurtured and you're going to be empowered to nurture other people too. You're going to be feeling like you're being nurtured and you're taken care of, and you have abundance and you have bounty enough to go now and be this person for somebody else who's here, you know? A lot of your path and a lot of your path and a lot of your journey might be in healing, because a lot of the times when you're meant to be healing and meant to be that kind of person for people, you have a lot of trouble finding yourself and finding connection. A lot of healers kind of, I don't want to say live a life of solitude, so to speak, but a lot of healers live a life of solitude. I'm not saying they're lonely, but I'm just saying they have a sense of solitude about them that you guys need to cultivate and you guys need to develop. Ugh. Your hopes and fears. The Queen of Wands and your hopes and fears. I feel like with your hopes and fears, you kind of fear your capability in a sense. Like, I feel like you guys kind of fear the fire that you can start. Like, you're not quite comfortable with your own influence. You're not quite comfortable with how big your influence is and your personality is. And for some of you guys, like, the reason you're feeling so displaced and so unworthy is because you're dimming yourself down. Of course you're not worthy because you're not being your full self. You have to find that comfort in who you are. Find comfort in the fact that you are inspiring and passionate and dynamic, and you might have emotions that could potentially get out of control. The Queen of Wands, I feel like the Queen of Wands is very capable of starting a fire and that turning into a wildfire. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's very capable of that, of things getting out of hand, because she's so much, you know what I'm saying? She's so big in the way she moves and initiates and activates and does. Like, she could easily just start a wildfire, okay? And she has to find a way, like, she has to find her dynamicness. I don't know if that's a word. She has to find that in her journey. You know what I'm saying? She has to find a way to be leading with an air of mystery that attracts people to her. You know what I'm saying? She has to find a way to control her passions, control her rage, control her emotions, channel it. Actually, she has to find a way to channel her passion, her rage, her emotions, and all that stuff to be effective. You know what I'm saying? And you might just not have learned that yet. You might not have, and it's like in your hopes and fears that you may or may not be able to master that. If you believe in yourself, you'll be able to do it. You have to take that step and believe in yourself, okay? Look at justice is there saying things will be balanced. Things will be fair and balanced. This is your potential outcome. Things will be fair and balanced. I feel like not only for you, but also this is who you are, okay? If you're in this pile, you might want to look at different work that revolves around justice, giving justice, serving justice, fairness, balance. It could be law, it could be activism, it could be starting a charity of some sort. Diversity and equity and inclusion are huge right now. Like, these could all be things that are like really much a niche to you that you've never even thought of, but you need to be thinking about them now. Your strength is like picking direction and leadership. Picking direction and leadership, but you have to be comfortable with it, and you can't be dimming yourself down. Like, you can't be dimming your light and shrinking yourself because you're afraid of what you're capable of, or because you're afraid of, because you're afraid of what you're capable of. And not only because you're afraid of what you're capable of, but also because you're afraid that other people will not be able to handle you. That is very true. People are not going to be able to handle you. And I feel like a lot of people who you're with and around right now at this time in your life are going to fall into that group of people that cannot handle you. And you have to teach yourself to be okay with it. You have to teach yourself what love looks like, and because the reality of it is, it's like, everybody's not going to be able to handle you, but those people that stick with you through your self-discovery, those are the people that are really going to be worth it in your life. Like, some people are here for seasons, and they might have like things that you admire, desire, want to possess, and want to have yourself, but that doesn't mean that they're part of your soul tribe and that you're meant to be touching them and talking to them forever. Queen of Wands is back up here, leading with that fierceness, okay? This is just more information on what you do, how you move forward, okay? The World card. Ooh, the World card. The Ten of Swords. Oh, sorry, the Seven of Swords. Yeah, you need to step into your power. You should be doing meditations on stepping into your power and releasing shame and releasing guilt for who you are as a person, because that's what's gonna activate this cup for you that's like, oh, and this cup is where I find the libation I need. The libations that I'm thirsty for. That's where I'm gonna find it, in this cup. But you can't get that cup until you become comfortable really with who you are. And look at that, the Ace of Cups in the back of the deck overflowing. This is wholeness. This is you finding wholeness. in the process here, you're going to be wanting to like keep some of the things to yourself, keep information to yourself, practicing discernment. And also that could be very beneficial to you in terms of like practicing being this person, because anything in justice, people are going to be on a need to know basis. People are going to be on a need to know basis, okay? And then with this Two of Pentacles, with this Two of Pentacles, I feel like because you are coming upon this acknowledgement of yourself, it's going to be in a time where you're kind of transitioning out of one thing and into another. But it's not going to be the transition that's like, oh, I'm closing this door and I'm walking through another. Like you might have to really balance out two things. Like you might really have to balance out your activism work and your day job until you can pay yourself from your nonprofit. You know what I mean? Like something along those lines and along that nature. Heal your heart. It's time to transform. I was on point with this. Oh, I left a card. I might have been missing some information, but in any event, the message has come through. It's time to transform. It's time for you guys to transform out of this place of self-doubt, out of this place of feeling like unworthiness. You know, it's time to step into your power, and you can do that by healing your heart. I feel like there's some heart chakra expansion that's going to be available to you, okay? What did I say about discernment? You need to be practicing discernment, okay? And look at what affirmation has come out for you. I am discerning. I love myself enough to say no to the people and situations that don't serve my highest good. I am discerning. And here's the thing that's really of value here is the first sentence or the first little piece there. I love myself enough. Do you love yourself enough to sacrifice your ego? Because that's really what's keeping you in these situations and relationships and friendships and stuff to where you're not operating in your worth. That's really what's keeping you from pursuing what you could be pursuing. And that's really what's stopping you from starting over, from walking away with nothing, and from pressing reset on your life. And it's beyond the relationships it's so beyond the relationships for you guys. It's so beyond like the love and the romance and it's beyond that. It's like it's in every single part of your life. You have to love yourself enough to say it's okay to start over, to sacrifice your ego, to sacrifice your position, so to speak, in the material world. You have to love yourself enough to do it. That's the full reading for group number 4 for the Valentine's Day singles pick a card. Your situation is really less one of love and romance and relationships and more one of finding yourself. You're going to be on a beautiful journey. You're going to be on a beautiful journey of finding yourself, of finding your position in the world, and just go into it with an open heart. Go into it with an open heart, guys. This World card is saying like all things are working together for good. There is, yes, a chapter that's going to be closing and a transformation that's going to be happening, and a new life, a new way of life ahead of you, and all that stuff, all that good stuff. So like, just embrace it. Embrace the changes. Embrace I want to say breakups, but they're not breakups in terms of like having like a significant other, but like the friendships that are dissolving and that are coming to an end. Just embrace it and know that it's not against you, it's for you. Now, that was the final reading of this pick a card video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know how you feel. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow. Don't unfollow, okay? And until I see you guys on the next video, just remember, gratitude is the main attitude.